You go to sleep tonight with $5,000 on your credit card. You don't think about it. You're tired. Tomorrow is another day. But while you sleep, something is happening to that number. Something quiet. Something automatic. Something that has been happening every single night since the moment you first swiped that card. Your debt is growing. Without you doing anything. Without you spending another dollar. Just growing silently in the dark. This is not a metaphor. This is mathematics. And once you understand exactly how it works, you will never look at a balance through the same way again. Let's start with a number that most people glance at and ignore. The APR, annual percentage rate. If you have a credit card in the United States right now, the average APR sits at approximately 24.37%, according to data tracked by the Federal Reserve as of 2024. That number sounds abstract. It isn't. Here is what it actually means. Your credit card company does not charge you 24.37% once a year. They divide that rate by 365 and charge you a daily periodic rate, roughly 0.067% per day on your outstanding balance. Every single day, including weekends, including holidays, including every night you sleep, on a $5,000 balance. That is approximately $3.34 in interest added tonight. Tomorrow night, the interest is calculated not on the original $5,000, but on $5,003.34. The night after that, on $5,006.69, and so on, compounding forward without pause. This is the mechanism Albert Einstein reportedly called the eighth wonder of the world. But Einstein was talking about compound interest working for you, as an investor watching your money grow. What most people experience is the dark mirror of that same force. Compound interest working against them. Every day, automatically. Let's make this concrete. You have $5,000 on a credit card at 24.37% APR. You make only the minimum payment each month, typically around 2% of the balance, or $25, whichever is greater. It sounds responsible. You're paying something. You're not ignoring it. Here is what actually happens. According to calculations using the standard amortization formula, paying only the minimum on a $5,000 balance at 24.37% APR will take you approximately 17 years and 3 months to pay off. And by the time you make that final payment, you will have paid roughly $7,723 in interest alone, on top of the original $5,000. Your $5,000 purchase will have cost you $12,723. You didn't buy something worth $12,723. You bought something worth $5,000 and then paid for it 2.5 times over. The extra $7,723 went directly to the bank while you slept. Now here is where it gets more dangerous. Because most people don't have one credit card. The Federal Reserve's 2023 survey of consumer finances found that the average American household carrying credit card debt holds a balance of approximately $7,951. In NerdWallet's 2023 household debt study found that the average American household with any form of debt carries over $21,000 in credit card debt specifically. $21,000 at 24% interest. Let that number sit for a moment. At minimum payments only, $21,000 in credit card debt at 24.37% APR would take over 30 years to repay. The total interest paid would exceed $35,000. You would pay more in interest than you originally borrowed, more than twice what you originally borrowed. And the entire time, your bank would be reporting a healthy profit margin while you reported a persistent, gnawing feeling that you were working hard but never quite getting ahead. That feeling has a name. It is called debt servicing, and it is one of the most powerful financial traps ever engineered. The trap was not designed by accident. John Kenneth Galbraith, the Harvard economist and advisor to 4 U.S. presidents, wrote extensively about how consumer credit was deliberately expanded in the post-war period not to help consumers build wealth, but to drive consumption. The credit card itself, invented by Diners Club in 1950 and scaled massively by Bank of America's Bank Americard in 1958, which later became Visa, was designed as a convenience tool. It became over the following decades, one of the most profitable financial instruments in human history. The business model is elegant in its simplicity. Banks charge merchants a transaction fee every time you swipe. They charge you interest if you carry a balance. They charge you penalty fees if you miss a payment or exceed your limit. They collect on all three simultaneously. The ideal customer, from the bank's perspective, is not someone who pays their balance in full every month. The ideal customer is someone who carries a balance just large enough to generate consistent monthly interest, but small enough that they can still make minimum payments indefinitely. The industry even has a name for people who pay their balance in full every month. They call them deadbeats. Not because those people are irresponsible, because from the bank's perspective, those people are not profitable. Let's reconstruct the scene. You are 28 years old. You have $8,000 spread across 2 credit cards. You're paying the minimums on both. You feel like you're managing. You have a job. You're not behind. But every month, roughly $160 of your minimum payment goes entirely to interest, not reducing your balance at all. Your balance barely moves. And next month, the interest accrues again on a balance that is almost exactly the same as last month. This is the minimum payment trap. It is specifically designed to feel manageable while ensuring maximum long-term profitability for the lender. The minimum payment is set low enough that you can almost always afford it, which means you almost never feel the urgency to pay more. And so the balance persists. For years, sometimes for decades. Economist Helene Olin, in her book Pound Foolish, documented how financial products, including credit cards, are marketed with sophisticated psychological strategies to minimize the perception of cost while maximizing the duration of debt. The monthly statement is designed to make the minimum payment feel like the correct amount to pay. The rewards program is designed to make spending feel like earning. The credit limit increase offer is designed to feel like a compliment. None of it is accidental. All of it is engineering. So what does getting out actually look like? Because this is not a video about despair. It is a video about mechanics. And the same mathematical force that traps people in debt can be redirected to help them escape it. There are 2 proven methods. The first is called the Avalanche method, paying off the highest interest rate debt first while making minimum payments on everything else. This is mathematically optimal. It minimizes total interest paid over time. A 2012 study by researchers at Northwestern University's Kellogg School of Management confirmed that the Avalanche method results in faster debt elimination and lower total cost than any other repayment sequence. The second method is called the Snowball method, documented and popularized by financial author Dave Ramsey. Pay off the smallest balance first, regardless of interest rate, then roll that payment into the next smallest balance. This method costs more in interest over time, but it generates faster psychological wins, which research has shown improves follow-through and reduces the likelihood of abandoning the repayment plan entirely. Which method is better? The Avalanche saves more money. The Snowball keeps more people on track. The right method is the one you will actually finish. Here is the underlying truth that both methods rely on. Every dollar above the minimum payment you apply to your debt works against compound interest rather than for it. A $100 extra payment on a $5,000 balance at 24% interest doesn't just reduce your balance by $100. It eliminates all future interest that would have compounded on that $100 for the remaining life of the debt. Depending on how early in the repayment period you make it, that $100 extra payment could eliminate $200, $300, even $400 in future interest charges. This is why getting out of high-interest debt is, mathematically, one of the highest return investments a person can make. Paying off a credit card charging 24% interest is equivalent to earning a guaranteed 24% annual return on that money, completely risk-free. No index fund, no stock portfolio, no real estate investment reliably returns 24% per year. Eliminating the debt first is almost always the correct financial move before beginning to invest. You go to sleep tonight. Somewhere on a balance sheet you will never see, your interest is being calculated. A small number, $3, $5, $11, added automatically to what you owe. By morning, it will already be part of your balance. By next month, it will be part of the base on which next month's interest is calculated. The compound interest trap is not dramatic. It does not announce itself. It does not send a warning. It simply grows quietly every night in the background of your life until the day you look at a statement and realize you have been paying for years and the balance has barely moved. Now you understand why. And understanding why is always the first step toward changing it. You went to sleep with $5,000 on your credit card. Tonight, that number is a little larger. But tomorrow morning, you wake up knowing exactly what is happening and exactly what to do about it.